pleasant good morning to each and every one of you in studio and those of you joining us for this live broadcast. I am Mikhail Saunders. I will be joined later by my co-host, Ethan Maki, for this segment of the Aqua Edition. Thank you for joining us on the ACES Network. You are in for a delightful treat. Indeed, this is an auspicious occasion as we commemorate our Founders' Day. We are eternally grateful for the Sisters of Charity religious order who began the work of nurturing Catholic education way back on November 4th, 1889. Can you imagine? 134 years ago, Catholic education began in the Bahamas. I know that's mind-boggling. Most of us cannot even imagine what has transpired over the past year or past week, let alone 134 years later. I am joined in the ACES studio by some special guests this morning. But just before we meet them, let's go to our first commercial break.
Do you need to make a pivotal choice about securing your child's future? Well, one of the best ways you can do this is by providing your child with a holistic education. And just why should Catholic education be a prime consideration? Simply because we are the tried and trusted choice with over 100 years of experience. Register your child with the Catholic School today to ensure a brighter future for tomorrow.
Welcome back. We will have in studio today Amy Brown, Tamara Bister, Jasmine Aubrey, Eden Hepburn, and Kaylee Rowe. Welcome, everybody. Someone had a vision, and 5 brave women set out to make this dream a reality. Amy, I understand that you have been researching this phenomenon. What insights can you share with us?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for inviting me to be a part of this special episode of the Aqua Edition. It is truly an honor to be on your company of this occasion. Let me tell you, those first group of Sisters of Charity were some brave and phenomenal women. These women did not travel by plane, but they ventured here by boat, on a vessel on the Santiago. They sailed from New York for 5 days. On this journey, they encountered a terrible storm as they prepared to enter the territory of new land and new culture. I was privileged to discover this information from the personal diary of Mother Mary Ambrosia Sweeney that was dated back to October 24th, 1889. How cool is that? And talk about stepping out in faith.
Just powerful. Before I invite Tamar to add his thoughts, let's go to another 30-second break.
Are you looking for a place that caters to your child's complete needs, from the spiritual to the vocational to the academic to the fine arts, that inculcates a culture of excellence tempered with environmental stewardship, compassion, and discipline? Then, the home of the ACES is the place. Aquinas College's mantra is Aqua going green, keeping our environment clean.
And we're back. Straight over to you, Tamar. What about those pioneers of Catholic education in the Bahamas?
Well, you can only imagine what a cultural shock it must have been for those 5 Caucasian women to now be thrust into the midst of a primarily black society and a spanking hot climate to boot. It must have been a hardship just to have to wear their natural garb of habits made from heavy materials. What is most important, however, is this school, and in fact, all Catholic schools in the Bahamas. And indeed, our nation owes a tremendous debt of gratitude to the Sisters of Charity for their solid foundation they laid for Catholic education in the Bahamas.
Indeed we do. Thank God for the Sisters of Charity. However, the Dominican sisters also played a significant role in shaping the Catholic education in the Bahamas. Jasmine, what can you tell us about the Dominican sisters, particularly as it relates to Aquinas College?
Well, these were yet another noble group of women who sought to ensure that all people in the Bahamas, especially the poor, were afforded an opportunity to receive a quality education. And so back in 1957, These sisters on the Palmdale property, the Ace's first home, started was back then a vocational school for teachers, primarily Bohemian nuns, and business skills training college. Later, after merging with Bishop Lennon High School, Aquinas became a high school.
Fascinating. Let's now bring it closer to home. And Kaylee, please share your thoughts about the local influence with regards to Catholic education in the Bahamas.
Absolutely. As the Sisters of Charity wrote lesson, the role of the Bahamian religious women of St. Martin's Convent, now monastery, emerged, and many of these women dedicated the best years of their life to Catholic education. Our first Bahamian superintendent of Catholic education is whom the senior block of Aquinas College is named after, Sister Madian Russell, OSB. Subsequent to Sister Madian Russell, Sister Mary Benedict Pratt, OSB, became superintendent. It was Sister Annie Thompson who introduced the Archdiocesan Spelling Bee and Basketball Tournament, and Sister Jacinta, who gave 42 years of service in Catholic education, spent the bulk of years of teaching right here at the Great Aquinas College. Although she also taught in Grand Bahama and Bimini. Our current prioress, Sister Marva Coakley, was former principal at St. Bede's and senior mistress at St. Francis and Joseph, and she too taught at Holy Name in Bimini.
Thank you, Bakar, for seamlessly navigating us through thus far, and I will now see us through to the end of our segment. It would seem that these religious women gave the best years of their life to the development of young hearts and minds.
I would humbly submit that for that reason and that reason alone, we should never ever forget them. Their life's work was centered around the growth and development of Catholic education.
Eden, truer words have never been uttered. Even though we have only just barely scratched the surface, so far all we have been talking about are the sisters and their religious communities that most students today do not even know anything about. And so, as these sisters took on new roles and their presence in the educational arena lessened, this provided for the advent of lay leadership. Eden, do you care to expound on the role of lay leadership in Catholic education?
I surely can. Among some, the first lay administrators in our Catholic school were Jacqueline Bethel, Gail Wisdom, and Helen Hutchinson, and perhaps most notably, our distinguished former Director of Education. Mrs. Claudette Rowe was the first lay person to hold this title, and she did a phenomenal job to ensure that Catholic education would be viable for 21st century. Together with Archbishop Patrick Pinder, they saw a vision of Archbishop Lawrence Burke, whom our administration building is named after, through to fruition, and that we are now the beneficiaries of a 21st century high school campus. Indeed, there's always room for both expansion and improvement, but we are well on our way.
And so, that's a snippet of the past, history, and one of our themes over the years has been faithful past, hopeful future. And so, you may wonder, what is our outlook for the road ahead? Well, let's meet a few folks to provide us with some insight on that hopeful future.
My name is Ashi Demerit. I'm your future Olympian.
My name is Gabriel Saunders, your future surgeon.
My name is Amelia Hepburn, your future lawyer.
My name is Kadesh Boite, and I am your future law enforcement officer.
I am Ashante Hepburn, and I am your future pastry chef.
My name is Caleb Taylor, and I'm your future game creator.
I would say that our future is looking extremely bright. Thank you for joining us on this segment of the Yorko Edition. Let us endeavor to continue to carry out our 134-year-old legacy. Thank you to all of our special guests in the studio and you, our audience. We are grateful to our primary sponsor, CBOE, and the Sisters of Charity Archives in New York. I am Ethan Markey, reporting for Channel 10 and the ACES Network. Happy Founders Day, everyone.